Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Peter Goodman.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Your Honor, this is the jail.
Yes.
Kaufman Cody, he refused this morning.
Thank you.
You're ready to start whenever you are.
We're ready to go. It's my understanding that we were going to start with the Spanish speaker this morning because the interpreter has to go to another courtroom. Is that your understanding as well?
Yeah.
Your Honor, I'd like to get released today, please. Oh, I'm going to.
I'm the speaker?
Yeah.
All right.
Is the interpreter ready to go?
Yes, Your Honor.
Great. Good morning. Please state your name.
Buenos días, señor. ¿Me puede dar?
Francés Contreras.
Francés Contreras.
And we have your name as Ramses Contreras. Is that correct?
Perdón, señor. Es Ramsés en vez de francés. ¿Es Ramsés?
Francés. Con R.
Yes, it is Ramsés. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Maybe the interpreter heard differently.
That's all right. Thank you. All right.
Gracias.
We're here this morning for your initial appearance. You're charged with several felony offenses, including weapons misconduct, possession of dangerous drugs, possession of drug paraphernalia, disorderly conduct, which is a domestic violence offense, and discharging a firearm in city limits. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Bueno, señor, el día de hoy usted está aquí para su comparecencia inicial y a usted se le acusa de diferentes delitos graves. Entre ellos es que usted posesión ilegal de una droga peligrosa, mala conducta con un arma de fuego, accesorios, posesión de accesorios de droga y también alteración al orden público que se considera violencia doméstica. Y también disparar un arma de fuego dentro de los límites de la ciudad. Usted tiene el derecho de permanecer callado. Todo lo que diga puede y será utilizado en su contra. Go ahead, Your Honor.
Thank you. You also have the right to be represented by an attorney, and I am appointing the Public Defender's Office to represent you, and you have counsel seated next to you for the purpose of today's hearing, where we're going to talk about your conditions of release.
Y usted tiene el derecho de ser representado por un abogado. Yo le voy a asignar al defensor público para que lo represente en este asunto. Pero para el propósito de esta audiencia del día de hoy, usted tiene un abogado sentado enseguida de usted. Ahora voy a pasar a decirle las condiciones de liberación.
To prepare for that conversation, I have reviewed the interim complaint information provided by pretrial services and the state's recommendation that you be held on a bond of $25,000, and if that bond is posted, that you be released to pretrial services.
Bueno, señor, para prepararme para la audiencia de usted del día de hoy, yo ya revisé la demanda provisional y también revisé lo que está recomendando la Fiscalía y también lo que recomiendan los servicios previos al juicio. La Fiscalía está recomendando que usted quede bajo custodia y que se le fije fianza de $25,000. Y si usted deposita la fianza y sale libre, quede bajo la supervisión de los servicios previos al juicio.
Would the state like to be heard further?
Pregunta a la juez
Aye.
que si el fiscal quiere ser escuchado.
Your Honor, the state's position is the bond is warranted. A firearm was used. He's on misdemeanor DV probation involving the same victim. He's got an ICE hold. So a nominal bond to where he can just post it and get deported would essentially not be appropriate given the allegations here.
Thank you. And
Y dice el fiscal,
go ahead.
¿may I, Your Honor?
Yeah.
Bueno, dice el fiscal, su señoría, nosotros estamos pidiendo ese tipo de fianza por la razón de que el señor sí, la conducta del señor con un arma de fuego fue muy inapropiada. También tiene una orden de retención de los servicios de control de aduanas y emigración, ICE, y el darle una fianza simbólica, eso solamente lograría que el señor lo deportaran y entonces eso no sería apropiado por los alegatos que existen en este caso.
And sir, I did forget to mention that there is an immigration hold. So even if I were to release you today, you would be released to the custody of ICE, not to the community.
Bueno, señor, y dice la jueza, a mí se me olvidó decirle que sí tiene usted una orden de retención de emigración. Entonces, aunque yo lo liberara el día de hoy de la cárcel, usted pasaría a estar bajo custodia del servicio de emigración de aduanas de ICE y no saldría libre a la comunidad.
And would the defense like to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
¿Quiere ser escuchado el abogado defensor? Y dice que sí.
Given the ICE hold and the fact that Mr. Contreras is likely not wanting to be deported, and the fact that he has no prior felony convictions, no failure to appear, we're asking for a nominal bond of $1,000.
Dice el fiscal, bueno, su señoría, siendo que él pues tiene una orden de retención de ICE y el hecho también pues de que el señor Contreras probablemente él no quiere ser deportado, en su favor alegamos también que no tiene antecedentes penales por delitos graves y tampoco tiene faltas de comparecencia a sus audiencias. Por estas razones pedimos que se le fije una fianza simbólica de $1,000.
Thank you. I am going to order a bond of $10,000 cash or secured. If you were able,
Dice la juez, si voy a...
go ahead.
Go ahead, Your Honor.
I was going to say, if you are able to post that bond and if the ICE hold were to go away, you would be released to the custody of pretrial services.
Dice la juez, le voy a fijar una fianza de $10,000 en efectivo o en garantía. Si usted puede depositar la fianza, entonces usted va a quedar bajo la custodia de ICE. Y si se resuelve ese asunto de ICE, entonces queda bajo la supervisión de la Agencia de los Servicios previos al juicio.
The additional conditions would be that you commit no acts of domestic violence, possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, possess no firearms, and surrender any firearms you do possess to local law enforcement.
Y como condiciones de liberación adicionales, señora, a usted se le ordena no cometer actos adicionales de violencia doméstica, no puede poseer un arma de fuego, no puede consumir bebidas alcohólicas ni tampoco drogas ilegales y usted debe de entregar cualquier arma de fuego que tenga en su posesión a los agentes del orden público.
Also, that you have no contact with the alleged victim, do not return to the incident location. If you were living there, you would have to establish a different place to live.
Ahora, tampoco usted puede tener contacto con la presunta víctima, no puede regresar al lugar de los hechos y si usted vive ahí, en ese lugar, entonces tiene que buscar un lugar distinto donde vivir.
And your next court date is going to be April 7th at 1:30 for a preliminary hearing.
Y su próxima audiencia va a ser el 7 de abril a la 1:30 para una audiencia preliminar.
If you fail to appear for that or any future court dates, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Si usted no comparece a esa audiencia o a otras audiencias que se programen en un futuro, se puede emitir una orden para que lo vuelvan a arrestar. ¿Le queda claro, señor?
Sí.
Yes.
Thank you. You're excused for today.
May I utilize
Muchas gracias. Se puede retirar por el día de hoy.
May I utilize the interpreter?
Yes, if the interpreter has a moment, yes.
Yes, absolutely, Your Honor.
Your attorney will be out to visit you soon.
No sé inglés.
Dice su abogado, señor Contreras, el que está enseguida de usted, que el abogado que asignó la juez para que lo represente a usted lo va a visitar en la cárcel próximamente.
Okay.
And it's important that you
Okay.
not talk about what did or didn't happen with anyone besides your attorney.
Y es muy importante que usted no platique de nada de su caso con nadie, a menos que sea su abogado, y únicamente con su abogado.
All your communications with anyone besides your attorney is monitored by the government.
Porque todas las conversaciones que no sean con su abogado las está monitoreando el gobierno.
Thank you, interpreter.
You're so welcome, sir. Señor, se puede retirar por hoy. Gracias.
No, gracias.
Thank you. And Your Honor, may the interpreter be excused?
Yes,
Bye.
thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Fernando Villanueva, and I'd like to please, Your Honor, I'd like to give release today, please. I know, please.
Mr. Via Noea, this is the time for your initial appearance on a couple of different matters. We have allegations of aggravated assault on a police officer. Those are new charges from yesterday. And then you have failure to appear on criminal trespassing charges from January out of Pima County Justice Court. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney on the new felony charges. And I don't know if I accidentally removed it, but it's not showing up here for me. Yeah. I am appointing the public defender to represent you in this case, and you do have counsel seated next to you for the purposes of today's hearing. And at today's hearing, we are going to discuss your conditions of release. And so,
Thank you so much.
so to prepare for that discussion, I have reviewed the information in the interim complaint.
Okay.
I have also reviewed the state's recommendations, which is that you be released to pretrial services. Would anyone like to be heard any further?
I looked into him a little bit. He definitely has mental health issues, but in looking at the circumstances in the interim complaint, I think he does have the misdemeanor warrants, but the state feels releasing him and giving him a chance would probably be appropriate in light of the allegations.
Please.
All right, so on the new felony charge, I am going to release you to pretrial services.
Please.
You'll be required to submit to any monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services. You'll be required to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, possess no firearms or weapons, no contact with the alleged victim, don't return to the incident location. Your next court date for that case is going to be April 17th at 1:30. That is for your preliminary hearing, and that'll be at Pima County Justice Court. If you
Miss Johnny, I'm getting released today.
Yes.
Okay.
Just need to just listen to what
Sorry. Okay, go ahead. Sorry about you. Go ahead. You good? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Give me 1 second, sir.
Okay.
Do you have two in here? Oh, okay, great. All right. So that's what I thought, but I don't see another form in here. Oh, nope, there it is. I found it. Okay. All right. So we've discussed the felony charge. You also have the failure to appear for trespassing out of Pima County Justice Court. I am going to release you on your promise to appear in that case. And your next court date is going to be April 7th. And that's at 8:30 a.m. before Judge Steele. And if you fail to appear for that hearing, a warrant can issue for your arrest. I'm also ordering no contact with the victim. Do not return to the incident location in that case for the trespassing charge. Do you understand the conditions of release, sir?
Yes, I understand the conditions for release. Thank you, Your Honor, so much, and I'll do whatever it takes to return to the incident. Please, I do appreciate the incident. Thank you, Your Honor.
Stay in touch with your attorney and show up to your court dates, and you're excused.
All right, thanks.
So, okay. So, release from pretrial services.
And we will be going today, right?
Yeah, make sure you call them.
All right.
Okay. And then call the public defender's office.
Okay.
They're going to represent you in the case.
Okay.
That you picked up.
Right.
And then you have a court hearing.
Yeah.
The Justice Court on April 7th at the judge.
So I'll make sure I'm different. It's gonna be okay. I'll be all right.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Check in with your attorney. Okay.
Yeah. So as long as this paperwork don't take like it's gonna be right away. I'll give cost it out. Oh,
Sam,
all right. Yes. Oh,
I'm talking to the attorney. Sam,
Okay.
you might want to tip someone off at your office. He's got a little bit of a Rule 11 history, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay, thanks, Peter.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Danny Jerome Betters.
Mr. Betters, this is the time for a review hearing to see if you were still being held here on your local matters or if you had been released to Maricopa on the warrant that you have out of Maricopa County. It looks like you are still being held here. So I'm just going to set another hearing in 30 days for April 28th at 9 a.m. to see if you are still here or if you have been released to Maricopa County. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. You're excused.
Thank you.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Daniel Philip De La Sala.
Mr. De La Sala, you are here this morning for a review hearing on your warrant out of Sierra Vista. The purpose of the hearing was to see if you were still being held here on your local charges or if you had been released to Sierra Vista. It looks like you are still here dealing with your local charges, so I'm going to set another review hearing in approximately 1 month, so that'll be April 28th at 9 a.m. for the same purpose. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. You're excused for today.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Edward John Garlic III.
Thank you, Mr. Garlic. This is the time set for a review hearing. It looks like you have a warrant out of Maricopa County, but you were being held here on some local charges. So the hearing was set to see if you were still present in Pima County or if you had been released to Maricopa County. It looks like you are still here, but I can't tell from what I've been provided if you still have something local that is requiring you to remain here. Do you know if you still have a case here locally?
Actually, I posted the bond for the Maricopa warrant, and I've been sentenced for the local stuff pending bed. I was sentenced to probation previous Wednesday, not this past, but previous week. And so
I can look it up.
I'm just waiting for bed space, Your Honor. And I have one actually at ARC. So I'm just waiting for the paperwork to be processed.
Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and set the next review hearing probably by the time we get there, you will no longer be here unless you are sentenced for a period of time that keeps you in the Pima County Jail. So I'll set that review hearing for April 28th at 9 a.m. Does that make sense?
Hey, Judge, thank you.
All right, thank you. You're excused.
And Judge, just so you're aware, I looked up the minute entry, and he was given 60 days jail early release with bed space. So it's possible he could still be, held locally, and if they didn't find him a bed.
Thank you. Good morning. Please state your name.
Chad Harvey.
Mr. Harvey, this is the time for your initial appearance on a couple of different matters. We have new charges of, new charges of domestic violence, criminal trespass. We also have felony charges of burglary that are alleged to have occurred in September of 2024. And we have a failure to appear for trespassing and disorderly conduct out of Tucson City Court. You have the right to remain silent on all of these charges. Anything you say can and will be used against you. And you have the right to be represented by an attorney. I am going to appoint, again, it's not on here. I don't know if I accidentally removed it. Mr. Harvey, number 5. Oh, no, sorry, for the felony? It's a JPO, so it shouldn't be an attorney. Oh, is it an out-of-county felony? Yeah. Okay. All right, then never mind. Well, no, hold on, let me look at this. Oh, no, you're right. Well, this is a new in-county felony. All right. Thank you. So on the new felony charge, I am appointing the Public Defender's Office to represent you, and you do have counsel seated next to you for the purposes of today's hearing. We're going to talk about your conditions of release in each case. And we're going to start with the felony burglary. And to prepare for that, I have reviewed the interim complaint. I have reviewed information provided by pretrial services, which is information about you, and then it would also include information that you provided to them. I have also reviewed the state's recommendation, and the state is recommending that you be held on a bond of $10,000, and if you are able to post that bond, that you be released to the custody of pretrial services. Would the state like to be heard further?
That's just due to his probation status out of county for Cochise County, Your Honor, but nothing really to add beyond that given the circumstances.
Okay, and is there, are you just noting that he is on probation, or have we been alerted that they have done something in that case?
They have, Judge, and from what I can tell from the pretrial services report, I believe he does have a probation hold from that county. I believe at least from what I saw from the face sheet of the report, that probation from there did place a hold on him. So he's held here on that out of county violation.
Thank you. All right, I do see that now. All right. And would the defense like to be heard? Sorry, I don't know if you heard me or not. I asked if the defense would like to be heard.
Yeah, and I'm
Oh.
not sure. Can you hear me?
No, I could not hear you. Okay, thank you.
Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'd like to be heard, but thank you. I haven't seen a copy of the interim complaint. I just got it in my hand.
Oh,
I may
okay.
have a moment.
Absolutely, you may.
Your Honor, I'm asking that you impose a nominal bond given the probation hold. I'm looking at his criminal history. All of it appears to be substance abuse related. He's got a burglary tools conviction from 2020, a shoplifting one from 2021, and this most recent one was a theft. In this new case, according to the interim complaint, the alleged victim does not want to press charges. I may have one more second here. And for those reasons, we're asking for a nominal bond of $1,000 so you can get credit on this new case.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to order a bond of $5,000 cash or secured pretrial services. If that bond is posted, sir, you will have to abide by any monitoring or treatment directed by pretrial services. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence, no firearms or weapons. At this time, while Mr. I don't think I have his last name. While Robert did not indicate that he wanted to press charges for the specific thing that happened to him, it's my understanding that the other victim of the burglary did want to press charges. Pretrial services has not been able to speak with her about whether she's willing to have any contact with you. So at this point, I'm ordering that you may not have any contact with Ms. Moore. You may not return to the incident location. And your next court date is going to be April 7th at 1:30 in the afternoon. That'll be for a preliminary hearing at Pima County Justice Court. If you fail to appear for that hearing, a warrant could issue for your arrest. And then we are going to look at the Tucson City Court charges, which include criminal trespass, disorderly conduct, and criminal trespass, domestic violence. And in these cases, I am going to order that you are held on a bond of $150 cash or secured, commit no acts of domestic violence, have no contact again with Ms. Moore, do not go to her residence or the incident location for those criminal trespass and disorderly conduct charges. And I am appointing the City of Tucson Public Defender to represent you. Your next court date in that case is going to be April 4th. And that will be at 1:45 p.m. before Judge Maldonado. And if you fail to appear for that, a warrant can also issue for your arrest. If you remain in custody, the jail will make you available for your court dates. Otherwise, it'll be your responsibility to appear. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. You're excused for today.
Okay. Good luck.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Cody Aaron Thompson.
Mr. Thompson? Where is your... There it is. All right, we are here on a review hearing on your out-of-county warrant. It looks like you have a warrant from Graham County, and this hearing was set to see if you were still being held here on your local charges or if those had been wrapped up and you had been released to Graham County. So it looks like you are still here. I'm going to set a review.
Can I say something real quick, miss?
Give me just a
Please.
second. I'll let you, but just a second. What I'm going to go ahead and do is set another review hearing in approximately 1 month for April 28th at 9 a.m. for the same purpose to see if you are still here or have been released. Do you understand that?
I'm supposed to, I'm on IPS out here, miss, and I'm getting released. I was supposed to get released on the 9th of next month to a rehab called Via Maria, which I already got approved to through my probation office out here. I wanted to let you know that, like I'm really interested in going to treatment, and I promise you, I'll make my court date down there. I don't have any problem doing that. This happened before I got placed on IPS out here, and if there's any way I can get that resolved, like before this happens, like I would really appreciate it.
Sir, if you have counsel there, or you can perhaps get a little direction from your counsel here on how to go about this on your own. If you do not have counsel in Graham County, you can file a motion in that case, but I'm not going to release you on that case here today.
Okay.
All right. So your next court date is going to be April 28th for a review hearing regarding your out-of-county warrant. You're excused for today. Thank you.
Wait. Rich. That's the guy.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Alexander Trail.
Mr. Trejo, we are here for a review hearing on your out-of-county warrant. Looks like you have a warrant out of Santa Cruz County, and you are being held here while you clear up some other local charges before being released to the other county. So I'm just going to set a review hearing in another 30 days for April 28th at 9 a.m. to see if you are still here or if you have been released. Do you understand?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. You're excused for today. Good morning. Please state your name.
Is Raul Alberto Bond.
Okay. It's number 102, right? Yep. All right, Mr. Bond, we are here today on an initial appearance for a couple of different matters. You have a case out of Pima County Justice Court that was in warrant status for failing to appear for shoplifting. And then there are also a number of charges out of Tucson City Court that were also in the failure to appear warrant status, including 4 counts of theft, 1 count of criminal trespass, 2 counts of unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia, and 1 count of reckless burning. You have the right to remain silent on all of these charges. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice, and in certain circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf. In the Pima County Justice Court case, I am going to appoint Robin Ald to represent you, and her phone number will be on the paperwork you received from today's court hearing. I am going to order in that case that you be held on a bond of $100 cash or secured, that if you are released, you possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, have no contact with the alleged victim, and do not return to the incident location. Your next court date is going to be March 31st at 1 p.m. That'll be before Judge Foreman for a pretrial conference. If you were to be released and fail to appear, a warrant could issue for your arrest. And then on the Tucson City Court cases, I am going to order for all of those together a bond of $250 cash or secured. If you are able to post that bond, you'll be ordered to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal substance, have no contact of any kind with the victims of the theft cases from Tucson City Court or the trespassing cases. Don't return to the incident location for those cases. I am appointing the City of Tucson Public Defender to represent you in those, and your next court date is going to be April 4th for a video review if you remain in custody. If you post bond and are released, then your next court date in Tucson City Court will be May 5th at 2:30. If you fail to appear for that court date, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand the conditions of release and the consequences of failing to appear for court?
Yes.
All right, thank you. You're excused for today.
Jennifer? Jennifer?
Nicole? And she wants to speak? Good morning. Please state your name.
Jennifer Gerard.
Ms. Gerard, we are here on your initial appearance. It looks like this is after being arrested on a warrant for shoplifting. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. And you have the right to hire an attorney of your choice. Today, I am going to appoint Anna Dennis to represent you in this matter. And I am going to order that you be held on a bond of $150 cash or secured. If you are able to post that bond and be released, the additional orders will be that you possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, that you have no contact with the alleged victim, and do not return to the incident location. Your next court date is going to be March 31st, that'll be at 1 p.m. And that'll be with Judge Foreman.
Out on bail?
Oh, sorry. If you were to fail to appear for your next court date, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I do. I was out on bail already, though. I don't know how I got a warrant
The
with my
problem,
bail.
ma'am, I believe that what would have happened is that you were out on bail and you missed court, and the court issued a warrant.
But I was in jail for that court date.
Okay, that would be an important thing to talk with your attorney about, okay?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. You're excused for today.
You.
You.
You. Tell me.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? You ever had me just stand up, the room gets dark, you get us and have this. And sometimes I pass out. And it hurts. Go sit here. Yes.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Hugh Anthony Goblin.
Great. Mr. Goglin, we're here on your initial appearance on a few different matters. It looks like there is a charge of driving with a suspended license out of Pima County Justice Court, as well as a charge of driving under the influence out of Pima County Justice Court. And then we have some Tucson City Court matters, which also include driving under the influence. And it looks like there's two separate sets of charges for that. And that these date back to 2021. So you do have the right to remain silent on all of these cases. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice. For the Pima County Justice Court cases, I'm going to appoint Anna Dennis to represent you. And for the Tucson City Court cases, I am going to appoint the Tucson City Public Defender's Office to represent you.
Thank you. Will you handle that, or what do I need to do for that, ma'am?
I'm ordering that they be appointed today. And so if you remain in custody, I believe they will make a point of reaching out to you. If you happen to be released, then you should make a point of reaching out to them. Their information will be on the paperwork you receive.
Thank you. That answered all my questions.
We are going to talk about your conditions of release today.
Okay. Great.
And let me see. I am going to start with the City of Tucson cases, and I'm going to order a bond of $500 cash or secured in those cases. So that's what you would be required to post in order to be released. If you are able to post that bond and be released, you'll be ordered not to drive without a valid license, to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs. And your next court date, if you remain in custody, will be April 4th at 1:45. If you are released, then your court date will be April 25th at 9 a.m. If you were to miss the court date after being released, a warrant can issue for your arrest. And then we'll turn to the Justice Court cases. On the charge of driving with a suspended license, I'm going to order a bond of $150 cash or secured. If you are released, do not drive without a valid license, do not possess or consume alcohol or illegal drugs. And on the DUI charge, I'm going to order a bond of $500 cash or secured. Do not drive without a valid license, no alcohol or illegal drugs. And for those cases, your next court date will be March 31st at 1 p.m. That'll be before Judge Foreman for a pretrial conference. If you fail to appear for your Pima County case, a warrant can issue for your arrest. If you remain in custody, the jail will make you available for that March 31st hearing. But if you post bond and are released, you'll be required to appear. Do you understand?
Yes, well, I understand what you said. Mostly, I don't have I don't have my wallet right now, so I don't know how to make those payments.
I think you can contact, friends or family members to discuss how you might be able to do that. And if that doesn't work, you can talk with your attorney about how you may be able to arrange to post bond. Any other questions, sir?
Well, why can't I have my wallet or there's money in my wallet and my possessions of I think $800 or $900.
Sir, I don't
Cash.
know. Sir, I don't know where your wallet is or how you can obtain it. That's not within my purview this morning. Okay?
No, nobody knows where my wallet is.
Sure.
I didn't mean to be respectful. I was just informed that the wallet is able for me. Can I get cash? Okay, I've got the cash then today. I've got the
Right.
cash today.
Sir, just make sure
And
you
how
show
much?
up. Make sure you show up to your court dates, because if you do not, a warrant is going to issue for your arrest. You're going to lose that bond. You're going to be right back here. Okay?
Oh, I understand that. I will follow through on everything, and if I have questions, I'll make sure to ask and get answers before it becomes a problem.
All right. You're excused for today. Thank you.
Okay. Oh.
Yes.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Nora John.
Miss John, we are here for your initial appearance. It looks like we have charges from July and August of 2022, including shoplifting, refusing to provide your name when you were lawfully detained, and failing to appear for court. Those are all out of Pima County Justice Court. And then we also have a new Tucson City Court case with charges of shoplifting, obstruction, and possession of drug paraphernalia. You have the right to remain silent on all of these charges. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Thank you. Okay. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice. On the 2022 cases, I am going to appoint Anna Dennis to represent you. Her phone number will be on the paperwork you receive. And I am going to order a bond of $100 cash or secured. If you are able to post that bond and be released, you will be ordered to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, have no contact with the alleged victim, and do not return to the incident location. Your next court date for the Pima County Justice Court cases is going to be March 31st at 1 p.m. And if you were to be released and fail to appear for that hearing, a warrant could issue for your arrest. And then on the new Tucson city charges, if I were to order that you be released on your promise to appear for court in those cases, would you appear for your court date?
Absolutely.
So I'm going to appoint the City of Tucson Public Defender to represent you in those charges. I'm going to order that you're released on your promise to appear. So if you're able to post or be released in your justice court case, then your Tucson City Court case will not hold you.
Okay.
No contact with the victim. Do not go to the incident location of the theft charges. And your next court date is going to be April 28th at 9 a.m. before Judge Hale for a pretrial conference. You are presumed to be innocent. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. If you fail to appear for court dates, not only can a warrant issue for your arrest, but the hearings can go forward in your absence, including a trial. And if you are convicted and then cannot be sentenced for 90 days due to your failure to appear, you can lose your right to a direct appeal. Do you understand the consequences of failing to appear?
Yes, ma'am.
And I will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf for that new Tucson City charge. And so we have also completed your arraignment on that charge today.
Okay.
All right. You're excused. Thank you.
Thank you.
Resultado.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Susan Lee Mergenthal.
Thank you. All right. We're here this morning on charges of disorderly conduct and assault, which are domestic violence. This is your initial appearance. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice, and in certain circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf. We're going to talk about your conditions of release. And in considering your conditions of release, I have reviewed the information provided by law enforcement regarding the circumstances of the arrest. And then I have also reviewed information provided by pretrial services. And so, ma'am, if I were to order that you be released on your promise to appear for your future court date and order that you are not allowed to have any contact with the alleged victim, Philip Meza, which includes not returning to his residence, would you be able to abide by those conditions and appear for your next court date?
Well, I'm the owner of the home.
But he's living there with you?
Yes.
Great. So pretrial services was not able to speak with him and get his position on whether he was comfortable having further contact with you. So my inclination would be to order that you are not allowed to go back to that home at this time, to give him a little bit of time as the victim in the case to get situated if it is your property. And then you would eventually be able to return, but that would only be after further order of the court. Do you understand that?
No, I don't really.
Well, you may not understand the reasons for it, but do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand what you're saying.
Okay. And do you have somewhere else to go?
No, I do not.
All right. So there is a trailer outside the jail when you are released. It's called the Transition Center, and they can help you with resources on finding a place to go in the meantime. Does that so you could, if I order that you be released, you could visit that trailer to try to get help finding a place to go. And then would you appear for your next court date if I order that you're released?
Yes, can I go home though to get my things?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So I am going to order that you're released on your promise to appear, that you possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, have no contact with the alleged victim, do not return to the incident location. However, you may return one time with a police escort to pick up your necessary belongings. So that means you take my order to the nearest police station and they will escort you to the home while you pick up your belongings. Okay? Let's see. All right, so your next court date is going to be April 7th at 10:30 a.m. for a domestic violence arraignment with Judge Steele at Pima County Justice Court. If you were to fail to appear for that hearing, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. You're excused for today.
From work. Will I get
Yeah,
paid?
you get it once you're done. Brandon?
Good morning. Please state your name.
Mariah Ram.
Good morning, Ms. Ram. You are here this morning for your initial appearance on charges of assault, which are domestic violence charges. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. And you have the right to hire the attorney of your choice. In certain circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf. We're going to talk about your conditions of release, and I have reviewed information provided by pretrial services, as well as the circumstances surrounding your arrest in the probable cause statement. If I were to order that you be released on your promise to appear for court, would you appear for your next court date?
Yes.
And then if I were to order that you were not allowed to have contact with the alleged victim, would you have somewhere else to go?
Just I have my things there. Like I literally just got a mattress, and I have like my work uniform, my essentials there. So
Okay.
I would need to go get those.
Okay. So I am going to order that you're released on your promise to appear. I'm going to order that you do not possess or consume alcohol or illegal drugs, that you commit no acts of domestic violence, that you have no contact with the alleged victim, don't return to her residence, but you may return one time with a law enforcement escort to pick up your necessary belongings. And let's see. Okay, so that means that you'll take my order to the closest police station and they will escort you to the residence so that you're able to pick up your belongings. That is an order that could change at a future court date if the alleged victim is okay with it. However, we were not able to get her input prior to this hearing, so I am at this point in time ordering no contact. Your next. Yes, go ahead. You can ask.
So would I be able to go to like the police station today and get my stuff?
I believe you would, yes. And then your next court date is going to be April 7th at 10:30 a.m. for a domestic violence arraignment with Judge Steele. If you fail to appear for that court date, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes. Where is this at?
Pima County Justice Court.
Okay. At 10:30, April 7th, Judge Steele.
Yeah, and also get a copy.
Oh, yeah, it's a copy of everything. Okay.
Yep. All right.
Sorry, just one more question. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You can talk.
Do I go to the police station closest to her residence or just in here?
I would go to the one closest to the place that you need access to.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You're excused for today. Thank you.
So, Sudo.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Salcido.
Great, Mr. Salcido. You are here for an initial appearance. It looks like you had charges out of Glendale City Court for trespass. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice. I am going to order that you be released on your promise to appear for your future court date. Your court date is going to be April 8th at 1 p.m. at Glendale City Court in Glendale, Arizona. The additional order as a condition of release is that you do not return to the incident location. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, thank you. You're excused.
Apodaca.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Juanito Bianca Apodaca.
Oh, there we are. Great, Miss Aparat, you are here on your initial appearance after being arrested on warrants out of Tucson City Court. It looks like there are charges involving 2 counts of theft, 4 counts of criminal trespass, 2 counts of criminal damage to property, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, domestic violence, 1 count of contributing to the delinquency or dependency of a minor, and 5 different counts of possession of drug paraphernalia. You have the right to remain silent on all of these charges. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice. I am appointing the City of Tucson Public Defender to represent you in these matters. And oh, that's the wrong. Okay. We are going to talk about your conditions of release. Looking at these cases going back to 2020, I am going to order that you be held on a bond of $500 cash or secured. I am also going to order that if you are able to post that bond, alcohol or illegal substance, have no contact of any kind with any of the victims in the theft, trespassing, damage, disorderly conduct cases. Abide by any previously ordered conditions of release in these matters. And your next court, do not return to the incident locations in those matters as well. And your next court date is going to be April 7th at 1:45. If you
What is this charge about a minor? Because I didn't get arrested for no new charge for a minor.
This is not a new charge. This is an old charge. All of these are old charges. These are all things that were in warrant status. And it's contributing to either the delinquency or the dependency of a minor. Because this is an old charge, I didn't look at the details of all of them. I would have if it were a new charge. But does that make sense to you, ma'am?
No, not really, because I don't know any minor that.
All right. Well, you are going to have the opportunity to discuss all of your cases with your Tucson City Public Defender. And your next court date will be April 7th at 1:45. If you remain in custody, the jail will make you available for that hearing. If you post bond and are released, then you will have to appear on that date. And if you do not appear, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. You're excused. Thank you.
That's the.
Good morning, sir. Please state your name.
Tyler Castro.
Mr. Castro, this is the time for your initial appearance. It looks like you were arrested on a number of matters, including old charges that were in warrant status for failure to appear that involve criminal trespass, possession of prescription drugs, and possession of drug paraphernalia. And then newer charges of criminal trespass, criminal damage to property, theft, and possession of drug paraphernalia. You have the right to remain silent on all of these cases. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
When you say that if I'm released today, I promise I'll appear at my next court date.
Thank you, sir. And were you aware of your court date from which the warrants issued?
Which, the most recent one?
Yes, so you have some charges from November of last year. Were you aware of the court date on November 25th?
November 25th.
Nope, sorry, that was when you were seen. Nope, that was, yes. You were seen at an initial appearance on November 19th, and your next court date was November 25th.
I can't say that I recall that.
Okay, all right. All right. So, I am going to give you one more chance to appear on your cases. So I am going to order that you be released on your promise to appear. Your next court date is going to be April 30th. That's at 2 p.m. in front of Judge Mayhew at Tucson City Court. You are further ordered to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, have no contact of any kind with the alleged victims in the criminal trespass and criminal damage and theft cases, and to abide by any previously ordered conditions of release. If you were to fail to appear for your next court date, it is very likely a warrant would issue for your arrest. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Thank you. You're excused for today.
Paso. Gordon. Gordon.
Morning.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Gordon.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Was it Jesus Gordon? Okay. You're here today for an initial appearance on a number of charges out of Tucson City Court dating back to 2020. These include disorderly conduct, domestic violence, criminal damage, domestic violence, theft, and looks like a violation involving having drugs in a drug-free school zone. So, and it looks like you have, some of these are post-sentence and you have petitions to revoke your probation. So I am going to appoint the City of Tucson Public Defender in the event they were not already appointed. If they were, I'm affirming that appointment. I am going to order that you are held on a bond of $250. That'll be cash or secured. If you post that bond, the additional orders that you possess or consume no alcohol or illegal substances and have no contact of any kind with the alleged victims of the disorderly conduct, criminal damage, and theft charges do not return to those incident locations. Your next court date, if you remain in custody, will be April 4th at 1:45. And if you are released, it will be May 5th at 9:30 a.m. In either case, it'll be before Judge Mayhew at Tucson City Court. If you were to be released and then fail to appear, a warrant would issue for your arrest. Do you understand, sir? All right, thank you. You're excused for today.
No, thanks.
Good morning. Please state your name.
My name is Tyson Hoekstra.
Mr. Hoekstra, you're here this morning for your initial appearance on charges of domestic violence assault. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice, and in certain circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf. We're going to talk about your conditions of release, sir. If I were to order, let me just, I don't think this was available earlier. 1 second, please. All right, if I were to order that you be released on your promise to appear for your future court dates, would you appear for your future court dates?
Yes, I will.
And I would also be ordering that you have no contact of any kind with Alessandra Caldera. Are you able to abide by that condition?
Yes.
All right. So I will order that you are released on your promise to appear. Additional orders are that you commit no acts of domestic violence, possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, that you have no contact of any kind with Alessandra Caldera, do not go to her residence or workplace. Were you living with her?
In the process of, yeah, I have a lot of stuff over there.
All right, so I will order that you may return one time with a law enforcement escort to obtain your belongings. So you'll take my order to the closest police station, and they will escort you to the property to obtain your belongings. Your next court date is going to be April 29th. That's at 1:30 in the afternoon with Judge Millian for a pretrial conference. I will enter pleas of not guilty on your behalf and let you know that you are presumed to be innocent, but if you fail to appear for any court dates, not only can a warrant issue for your arrest, but the hearings can go forward in your absence, including trial. And if you are convicted and then fail to appear for sentencing for at least 90 days, you can lose your right to a direct appeal. Do you understand the consequences of failing to appear for court?
I do.
All right, thank you. You're excused.
Oh, my feet hurt so good.
Good morning. Please state your name.
No, Renee Leon.
Ms. Leon, you are here for your initial appearance. It looks like you were arrested on a number of matters, including some charges that were in warrant status for criminal trespass, disorderly conduct, and some charges that were that you've previously been sentenced for and your probation is being revoked, which include additional criminal trespass, disorderly conduct, assault, theft, and another disorderly conduct. The public defender was previously appointed in at least some of those cases. If there are any in which they were not, I am appointing them today. You have the right to remain silent on all of these charges. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice. As I've said, the City of Tucson Public Defender is appointed on your behalf. We're going to talk about your conditions of release, ma'am, and I'm going to order that you be held on a bond of $500 cash or secured, possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, do not have any contact with the alleged victims in the theft, disorderly conduct, and trespass cases, and do not return to those incident locations, and abide by any previous conditions of release. Regardless of whether you post bond, your next court date will be April 7th at 1:45. If you are still in custody, the jail will make you available for the hearing, and if you have been released, then it will be your responsibility to appear for that hearing. And if you fail to appear, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand? Ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you fail to appear for court, a warrant can issue for your arrest?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand the conditions of release that I stated?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. You're excused.
Alvin, so will I be going to the bath or onto the bridge?
Thank you. Good morning. Please state your name.
Kenneth Thompson.
Sir, we're here for your initial appearance on charges of assault, which are domestic violence charges. It's my understanding that Nicole Thompson is on the line and may like to be heard, and I'll call on you in just a moment, Ms. Thompson. First, Mr. Thompson, I'm going to tell you that you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice, and under certain circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf. And then, Ms. Thompson, it's my understanding you wanted to be heard. So right now, I will invite you to let me know what you would like me to know. You may need to hit *6 to unmute yourself. And Ms. Thompson, if you are speaking, you may need to try again to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Thank you very much. Go ahead.
Okay. I would like to say that my husband and I are both at fault. We have been together for 20 years, and I would like him to come home.
Thank you. All right. Mr. Thompson, if I order that you are released on your promise to appear, will you appear for your next court date?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
All right, so I am going to order that you're released on your promise to appear. Additional conditions of release are that you possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs and commit no acts of domestic violence. Because Ms. Thompson has appeared today and indicated that she does want to continue to have further contact and she is comfortable with you going home, I am not going to put any limitations on your contact. However, I will just say that if there are any arguments, you may want to just remove yourself from that situation. And your next court date is going to be April 29th at 1:30. That's before Judge Million. It's for domestic violence arraignment. And if you fail to appear, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
I understand.
Thank you. You're excused.
Thank you. All right.
All right. Good afternoon, please, or good morning. Please state your name.
Adrian Wyatt.
Is Julian part of your name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, Mr. Wyatt, we're here for your initial appearance on several charges of disorderly conduct, domestic violence, and one charge of criminal damage. And it's my understanding that Rochelle Carrasco is also on the line. So, Ms. Carrasco, I'm letting you know I will be calling on you in just a moment. Mr. Wyatt, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice, and in certain circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf. All right, so we're going to talk about your conditions of release. Ms. Carrasco, you may need to hit *6 to unmute yourself, and you may tell me what you want me to know now.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you, ma'am. Go ahead.
Hi, yes. The officer was supposed to fix it, but I'm actually Roselle Barron.
Oh, so sorry.
That's okay. That's my daughter's name, so I don't know if they just got it mixed up.
Okay, thank you. And it may have been me. I try to call people by their last name if I can, so I may have pulled the wrong last name from the report as well.
Yeah, I think they put it down wrong because all my girls' names were Carrasco, so they just put my name in as other.
And what would you like me to know in considering Mr. Wyatt's conditions of release?
Someone I spoke to yesterday, I already had spoke to them and let them know that I wanted him to be released and welcome back home. And also I didn't want my kids to be listed as victims because they weren't hurt in any of this. They were in the home, but they weren't hurt during the fight between him and my boyfriend.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so Mr. Wyatt, if I order that you be released on your promise to appear, will you appear at your next court date?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So I am going to order that you are released on your promise to appear, that you possess or consume no alcohol or illegal substances, and that you do not commit any acts of domestic violence. Your next court date is going to be April 28th at 9:30 in the morning. That'll be before Judge Maldonado. I will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf today. You are presumed to be innocent. If you fail to appear for court, not only can a warrant issue for your arrest, but the hearing can also go forward without you. That includes trial. And if you are convicted and fail to appear for sentencing for at least 90 days, then you can lose your right to a direct appeal. Do you understand the consequences of failing to appear for court?
Yes, ma'am. When is my court date?
Oh, yeah. It is April 28th at 9:30, and you will receive paperwork from court today. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Your excuse. I did not put any of these in your files. I'm so sorry. Good morning. Please state your name.
Adriana Cunha.
Ms. Acuna, you're here this morning for your initial appearance. It looks like we have new charges of possession of drug paraphernalia and resisting arrest and obstruction. And then we have some older charges that are on warrant status out of Santa Cruz County for possession of narcotic drugs, failure to appear, and theft. And on those charges, a warrant was issued in the amount of $2,500, I believe. Where did I get that? There it is. Actually, that was from a nope. Yes, that's correct. Okay. The warrant was issued in the amount of $24.99. You have the right to remain silent on all of these matters. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice. And An attorney may be appointed on your behalf in Santa Cruz County. So then we're going to talk about your conditions of release. So I am going to affirm the warrant amount of $2,500 on the Santa Cruz County charge, and I am going to set a review hearing in 30 days to see if you are still here or if you have been released to Santa Cruz County. That'll be April 28th at 9 a.m. And then looking at your local new charges, I am, let me just check one thing here. I am going to order on these charges that you are released on your promise to appear at your next court date. Your next court date is going to be April 7th at 8:30 in the morning. That'll be before Judge Steele at Pima County Justice Court. Now, since I'm ordering you released on these charges, I believe you will be released to the custody of Santa Cruz County. And then it will be your responsibility to make sure that you have arranged to appear here in Pima County by contacting them if you remain in custody in Santa Cruz County, or if you are released, that you appear in your Pima County case. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And let's see. The additional orders, if you are released, are that you possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, have no contact with the alleged victim of the resisting arrest, and do not, I'm not going to put that one in here. And I am appointing, no, I'm not, because I'm releasing you. So I am not appointing an attorney in that case. All right. Do you have any questions about your conditions of release or your court date?
No.
And you understand that if you were to fail to appear for your court date, a warrant can issue for your arrest?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. You're excused.
Thank you.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Lieutenant Cox.
Thank you. You're here this morning on a number of matters. There is a warrant out of Maricopa County for a felony criminal trespass charge that you were picked up on. That is from 2023. And then it looks like we have some misdemeanor charges out of Tucson City Court that date back to 2021, including failure to appear on theft charges, indecent exposure, criminal trespass, and another charge of criminal trespass. You have the right to remain silent on all of these matters. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice. And in the misdemeanor matters, I am going to appoint the City of Tucson public defender to represent you. And then on the Maricopa warrant, I am going to order affirming the bond on the warrant for $2,500. And then your next, well, and then I'm going to set that warrant for a review hearing here in 30 days to see if you have been released to Maricopa County or if you are still here in Pima County. In the event that some local charges hold you here. If there are no local charges holding you here, then you would be released to Maricopa County.
I have a question about that, sorry.
Okay.
So they had that warrant and then they put like a hold and they let me go on it because I'm rehab. I'm with rehab. I'm doing my PHP with the rehab and everything. And they took me off of that the warrant and they told me to call when I was done with all that because they didn't want me to miss the bed. So I don't know why if this is gonna take me away from all my rehab stuff. I'm really confused.
So I'm given limited information about an out-of-county warrant, but let's see. It is showing that it was issued for your failure to appear for a court date. So it's like there was a court date you were supposed to appear at and you didn't.
Yes. And then I told them that I was waiting for a bed. And so they put it, I don't know why they released me on it. I don't know why it happened. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but I'm still doing the rehab stuff. So I get stuck in here. I can't keep doing my rehab.
If you have an attorney in that case, I would recommend contacting them as soon as possible. And then you have these these Tucson City Court charges. These have been going on for a while, and they were all in warrant status.
That's crazy. I thought it was all taken care of. I thought it was all put in one plea agreement. It's okay. I get it.
So I'm going to order in that case, in that set of cases from Tucson City Court, a bond of $250 cash or secured. I am going to order that if you post bond and are released in that case, that you possess or consume no alcohol or illegal substances, have no contact of any kind with victims of the indecent exposure cases. And I am appointing the City of Tucson Public Defender to represent you. Your next court date, if you remain in custody, is going to be April 4th at 1:45. And if you are able to post bond and you are released on those matters, then your next court date will be 2 o'clock on May 5th. In either case, it'll be in front of Judge Verena at Tucson City Court. And if you were to fail to appear for your court date after being released, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Thank you. You're excused for today.
Thank you.
Talks about the court dates. Check this out. You're in custody. She said it's the 4th. It's after hours. Look.
Good morning. Please state your name.
My name is Sergio Mauricio Romero.
And Mr. Romero, this is the time for your initial appearance. It looks like you have new charges of possession of a dangerous drug, possession of drug paraphernalia, which are felony charges, as well as a warrant out of Santa Cruz County for the same charges, but from 2021. Possession of a dangerous drug and possession of drug paraphernalia. So on the new offenses out of Pima County, I believe that the state is recommending that these charges be dismissed without prejudice. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. So I am going to order dismissing these new charges without prejudice. So then all we have to deal with, sir, is the out-of-county warrant. And so if there is, let me see. Romero. I don't see that there's anything else that would be holding you here, so you should be released to, oh wait, did I? Nope, this is the right one. Yeah, so you should be released to the other county. I'm just going to set a review hearing to make sure that happens. And that review hearing will be in 30 days. And I am going to affirm the amount on the warrant, which was $2,500. So you should be released to the other county. And when I call this case in a month, I'll just be saying we don't need to have these hearings anymore. Do you understand?
Yeah, and how long did they take to cover?
I don't know for sure, but they should do it relatively quickly because if they don't, then we're going to order that you be released.
Okay, so I should be here until the next 30 days or something?
I'm sorry.
Just wait.
Yeah, you'll be there until the other county comes to pick you up.
Okay.
All right.
Worst case scenario, another 30 days.
Okay, let's stay here.
Worst case scenario. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I went ahead and checked the box there, but if I didn't, would you have?
Let's go.
Like 2 hours. Oh, I was listening to the news. Oh, if we don't have to get on a review hearing, the next year. Okay.
Go take your shirt when you want.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yep. Good morning. Please state your name.
Oscar Eastwood.
Your Honor, at some point, may I be heard on probable cause?
Yeah. Give me just a moment.
Dismissing it, Sam.
Okay, great.
All right.
Thanks.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Via Essusa. This was the time set for your initial appearance on charges of possession of a narcotic drug and tampering with evidence. It is my understanding that the state is moving to dismiss these charges without prejudice at this time, so I will be ordering that the charges are dismissed without prejudice. And so you will be released. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
All right, thanks. You're excused.
All right, brothers.
Good morning. Please state your name.
John Leon Augustiniak.
Mr. Augustiniak, this is the time for your initial appearance on charges of resisting arrest, criminal damage to property, and 3 counts of stalking. These are all felony offenses. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. I am appointing the public defender to represent you in this case, and you do have counsel seated next to you for the purposes of today's hearing. We're going to talk about your conditions of release. It's my understanding that the state is asking that you be held without bond at this time because you were on pretrial release for another felony at the time that these allegations were allegedly committed. Is that still the recommendation from the state?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Thank you. And sir, under these circumstances, I cannot release you when you were on pretrial release for another felony and the state is requesting that you be held. But what is going to happen is we're going to set a no bond hearing on April 2nd, where the state has to provide the proper evidence if they are still requesting that you be held without bond on these charges. Do you understand?
No, actually, I don't understand why I'm being held without bond. That actually doesn't make any sense, especially when the recommendation was that I'm not held.
I'll explain. So under the law, if you're on release for a felony case, then you're arrested for a new felony case, the government is entitled or is allowed to ask that you be held without no bond. They're entitled to a hearing about that.
So I have to stay in custody till the 2nd?
At the very least.
All right, so I am going to.
I'm not really quite sure how that works. I'd like to get an attorney of my own and get a second opinion on this.
Sir,
I understand that.
You'll absolutely have an attorney. You'll absolutely have the opportunity to speak with the attorney assigned to you from the public defender's office or hire an attorney of your own choice. For today's purposes, and you may have misunderstood what the state was asking. The way I said it may have been confusing. The state is asking that you be held without bond. So no bond that you can post would be ordered, okay? And they're doing that because you were on pretrial release for a felony when you were alleged to have committed another felony. And that's something they're allowed to ask for, and I have to honor at your initial appearance. We are going to set that hearing on April 2nd at 2:30 p.m., in which case they have to prove up if they still want to hold you without bond at that time. And then I'm also going to set a preliminary hearing on April 7th at 1:30. You're welcome to file any motions that you want to file. All right? Do you understand?
Not really, but I'm going to have it explained to me by an attorney when they give me a call.
Perfect. All right, you're excused for today. Thank you.
So now you're.
I have an attorney ready.
Okay, so make sure you contact them.
When am I going to contact them? I'm here in custody. I'm going to call an attorney, not the public defender. Okay. Yeah, good luck to you too.
How you doing, huh?
Good, you.
I'm doing okay.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Alvin Scott Jr. Bennett.
All right, Mr. Bennett, this is the time for your initial appearance on a new felony charge of theft. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice. I am appointing the public defender's office to represent you in this matter, and there is counsel seated next to you for the purposes of today's hearing, where we're going to talk about your conditions of release.
Okay.
So I have reviewed information provided about you by pretrial services. I have reviewed the interim complaint, and I have reviewed the state's recommendation, which is that you be released to pretrial services. Sir,
Okay.
if you were released to pretrial services, would you show up for your future court dates?
Yes.
All right, so I am going to order that you be released to pretrial services, unless, counsel, do you need to be heard on that?
No, you're out.
Thank you. And you are additionally ordered not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, to submit to any monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services. You may not possess any firearms or weapons and have no contact with the alleged victim. Do not return to the incident location of the theft. Your next court date is going to be April 17th. That's at 1:30 at Pima County Justice Court for a preliminary hearing.
Okay.
And let's see. If you were to fail to appear for that hearing, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes. But I'm gonna go.
Yeah, you're going to be released, and then, oh, you're going to go to the hearing. That's great. Thank you. If you need help with a place to stay, there is a trailer you can visit outside the jail once you're released. It's called the Transition Center. They can help you with some resources, okay?
Yes, okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Take care.
So just get contact them.
I got it. Oh, that's not
Very trial. And then
So, can I get a phone at that trailer?
maybe. Not sure. You also got to call your attorney.
Yeah.
And request the number for that. Okay. If this hearing may not happen. So that's why it's important to contact your attorney.
Okay, I will. Almost.
Good luck to you.
Thank you. Almost.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Benjamin Campos.
Mr. Campos, this is the time for your initial appearance. You're here on new felony charges of possession of narcotic drugs and possession of drug paraphernalia. We also have some charges out of Tucson City Court for criminal trespass that were from the last couple months and were in failure to appear status, so a warrant had issued in those cases. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be the felony charges. I am appointing the public defender's office to represent you, and you do have counsel seated next to you for the purposes of today's hearing. And under some circumstances, you may have the right to counsel being appointed for you. In your misdemeanor cases, you always have the right to hire your own attorney. We're going to talk about your conditions of release, and we're going to start with the felony cases. So in the new felony charges, I've reviewed the information provided by pretrial services, including their risk assessment and your criminal history, and any information you provided them about, where you've been living and working and things like that. I've also reviewed the state's recommendation that you be held on a bond of $1,000, and if you are able to post that bond, that you be released to pretrial services. Would the state like to be heard further?
Yes, Judge, that was primarily due to his failure to appear history. Whether you release him or not, we would not set a steps hearing on this. I'm the county attorney who screens the participants, and in looking at his history, he does not qualify for the program. So we're just recommending a bond again because of the failure to appear history, and that essentially an appropriate 10-day PH gets set if he's held, or a 20-day PH gets set.
Okay. And defend.
If I may have a moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, given the nature of the charges, and from what he tells me, he doesn't have a job, he doesn't have any money to post a bond. So if he were to pose a $1,000 bond, it would essentially be a no bond situation for him. He does have ties to the community. 4 years. He has an Arizona driver's license. Yes, he has a number of priors, but they all appear to be substance abuse related. If you release him today, will you appear at your next hearing? He will appear at his next hearing.
Thank you, counsel. And sir, do you have a place to stay?
I will. Yes, I can stay with some friends.
Okay. If you need help with that, there is a trailer outside the jail. And if you are released, you can stop by that trailer. It's called the Transition Center. And they may be able to help point you in the direction of some resources for a place to stay.
Great. Okay.
So, sir, in your felony case today, I am going to release you to pretrial services. However, If you fail to appear for your next court date, it's very likely that a warrant will issue for your arrest. You are going to be required to submit to any monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons. Your next court date is going to be April 17th. That's at 1:30 in the afternoon.
Okay.
Pima County Justice Court. And then on your Tucson City case, your next court date is going to be May 5th.
Okay.
2:30. And that's for a pre-trial conference. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf in your Tucson City, or no, sorry, I was thinking those were new, but those are not new. So I'm not going to do that. The additional orders are that you possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, and that you have no contact of any kind with the victim. Do not go to the incident location. And if you fail to appear for this court date, it is also likely that a warrant will issue for your arrest. Do you understand the conditions of release and the consequences of failing to appear?
Yes.
All right. You're excused for today.
Sure. Your public defender, all that, because you may not have to go to hearing. So you got to call them to figure that out. Then you got to go to this meeting. But go ahead.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Chelsea Renee, what's up?
This is the time set for your initial appearance. You are here on a couple of different matters. You have new charges of organized retail theft from yesterday, and then there are a number of matters out of Tucson City Court, which include criminal trespassing charges, possession of drug paraphernalia charges, being in the park when it's closed. And these are from 2023, 2024, and this year. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by counsel in the new felony charge. I am appointing the public defender's office to represent you, and you do have counsel seated next to you for the purposes of today's hearing. Under some circumstances, you may have the right to have counsel appointed in the city cases as well, and you always have the right to hire your own attorney. We're going to talk about your conditions of release. We're going to start with the felony matter, and in that case, I have reviewed the interim complaint describing the circumstances of the arrest. I have also reviewed information provided by pretrial services, which includes information about any prior felony convictions, their assessment, and any information that you provided them and whether someone else was able to verify it. I have also reviewed the state's recommendation that you be held on a bond of $5,000, and if you're able to post that bond, that you be released to pretrial services. Would the state like to be heard further?
That was primarily due to her failing to appear for at least the past couple of years, the numerous failures to appear. I get that she doesn't have any felony priors, but it would appear just based on the track record, some form of a bond is appropriate to secure or ensure her appearance.
And would the defense like to be heard?
Yeah, if I can have a moment, Your Honor.
Absolutely.
Your Honor, we're asking you to please release her to the supervision of pretrial services. She's a lifelong resident of the area. This is verified. her mom is willing to transport her to court, as indicated in the pretrial services workup. She's 25 years old. She has no prior felony convictions. This new charge is a pretty serious charge, and she doesn't have a place to live at the moment or a job. If you were to impose a bond on her, she essentially held without bond. I spoke with her just now, and she promises to appear at all future court dates, and her mom's going to help her out with that if you're willing to give her that opportunity.
I do want to just ask if there's, if you take a moment to discuss whether there's any amount that she feels she would be able to have posted on her behalf, because I am seeing that in all of these city charges, it looks like she has never come to court for her cases. And so we'll just be right back here again, ma'am, if you do not appear for your court dates.
I agree there.
So take just a second to speak with counsel.
Your Honor, she doesn't have any income whatsoever. Her mom's, what she tells me, is not able to help her out as well. Her mom's got custody of her daughter, is raising her. Again, she promises to appear. If you were to release her on pretrial today, and if she's indicted and she doesn't show up for her arraignment or anything like that, the court could always impose a bond or higher bond than recommended by the state today. We're just asking that you give her an opportunity in this felony case and these other cases that she can show up to her hearings. Great.
Ma'am, I am going to order that you be released to the custody of pretrial services today. That would not be the case if you're back in front of me in the future on failures to appear, okay? So you will be required to check in with pretrial services and submit to any monitoring or treatment that they direct. You may not possess any alcohol or possess or consume any alcohol or any illegal drugs. You may not possess any firearms or weapons, no contact with the alleged victim of the theft, do not return to the incident location. Your next court date is going to be April 17th. That's at 1:30 p.m. for a preliminary hearing. If you were to fail to appear for that hearing, a warrant can issue for your arrest, okay? And then we're going to turn to your Tucson City Court charges. And I just have to fill out a piece of paper here for those, so it'll just be a moment while I do that.
Okay. Contact them, all right? If you don't contact them, maybe take us to custody of it. He's like pretrial, sure. You gotta contact the police up there. May not have to go to series. So that's why I said the court, you contact them and they'll be able to tell you whether or not you do. Okay, so you gotta call them ASAP. She's gonna tell you about your city court date hearings that you'll have to go to.
All right, so for your Tucson City Court charges, to the extent you have not already had an arraignment, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to tell you that on all of those charges, you are presumed to be innocent. And I will enter a plea of not guilty on any of those charges where it has not previously been entered. And your next court date is going to be April 30th at 2 p.m. before Judge Mayhew at Tucson City Court. You are released on your promise to appear. You're ordered to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, have no contact of any kind with the alleged victims of the trespass, and do not return to those locations. If you fail to appear for court, not only can a warrant issue for your arrest, but the hearings can also go forward in your absence, including trial. If you're convicted at trial and fail to appear for sentencing for at least 90 days, then you can lose your right to a direct appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, you're excused. Thank you.
Okay, all right.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Tony Osuna.
Mr. Osuna, this is the time for your initial appearance. You are here this morning on felony charges of criminal damage and endangerment and misdemeanor charges of driving under the influence. And that's charged a few different ways. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney in the felony matters, and I am appointing the public defender's office to represent you. You have counsel seated next to you for the purposes of today's hearing. Under certain circumstances, you may also have the right to have an attorney appointed in the misdemeanor matters, and you also always have a right to hire your own counsel for those matters. We're going to discuss your conditions of release, and I have reviewed information about you provided by pretrial services. I have reviewed interim complaint, and I have also reviewed the state's recommendation that you be held on a bond of $10,000, and if you're able to post that bond, that you be released to pretrial services. Would the state like to be heard further?
Yes, Your Honor, he doesn't have any felony priors, but it's very concerning. He's got misdemeanor DUI related prior for nearly identical conduct less than 3 years ago. So we feel that here we are less than 3 years later, and he's getting, I'm not going to go, you can see what the charges are. So the state believes, based on the nature of the offense, he is a danger and a $10,000 bond is warranted.
Thank you. And would the defense like to be heard?
I would, Your Honor. I may just have a second here.
Of course.
So we're asking that you release him to pretrial services. He scored a 2 on the NCA scale, 3 on the FDA scale. According to pretrial, he has no failure to appear in the past 2 years. As Mr. Goodman stated, no prior felony convictions. Yes, he does have 1 misdemeanor prior, but no other priors whatsoever. He completed probation on that case, and he served his punishment. He's a lifelong resident of the area. He has a place to live. He has a girlfriend that is willing to assume third-party custody of him and was able to verify his residency status in the area. My understanding, no one was injured as a result of this incident, so we're asking that you release him to pretrial. If you're not inclined to do that, I'm asking that you impose a $1,000 bond.
Thank you. I am going to order a bond of $5,000 cash or secured. If you're able to post that bond, you'll be released to pretrial services. You must submit to any monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services. No alcohol or illegal drugs. Do not drive without a valid license. You may not have any contact with the, well, actually, let me look at that. Yeah, no contact with the alleged victim, and do not no, that was on the street, so I'm not going to put that in. And then your next court date is going to be April 7th. That is at 1:30 in the afternoon for a preliminary hearing. And if you were to fail to appear for any court dates, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes.
Thank you. You're excused.
Your Honor, the bond is secured, correct?
Yeah. Cash or secured.
So someone puts in cash, and percent cash and secure the rest of the property. This is, you got contact the public defender's office. Someone should probably down your CEO. Mondays and Fridays, I think until like if you bond out, call them back. Because you may not have the focus here. So that's better that you can fall back. Alright, talk about your case. Besides your attorney, all your communications are mine.
So I call them right now.
Yeah, I mean, get your information later today. You know, if you don't have an attorney assigned to this, should be assigned to you. Yeah. I mean, because our office is open. So just realistically, I drive like 12 things. It's been assigned to pay out.
Okay. And the fight, this, if somebody posts 5,000, they get it back. That's just money to the court.
You could get it back, but you gotta show up to court hearings and stuff. Like if you don't appear, but warrants issued, then that money comes to flow.
Bogus, Roxana. Hello. Hi. Good morning.
Good morning.
Please state your name.
My name's Roxana Probus.
Great. This is the time set for your initial appearance on charges of aggravated domestic violence. There's 2 different counts. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney, and I am appointing the Public Defender's Office to represent you. We're going to talk about your conditions of release, and you do have counsel seated next to you for the purposes of today's hearing. I have reviewed information from the interim complaint surrounding the circumstances of the arrest. I have also reviewed information provided by pretrial services. And I have reviewed the state's recommendation that you be held on a bond of $10,000, and if you're able to post that bond, that you be released to pretrial services. Would the state like to be heard further?
I don't believe I have any additional information to add, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. And defense.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're asking that you release him to pretrial services. According to the interim complaint, if I remember correctly, Probus is accused of arguing and pushing someone. The pretrial services is labeling Probus as a level 1 condition level. No one was hurt in this incident. Probus scored a 2 on the NCA scale, a 2 on the FTA scale. No prior felonies, no prior failure to appears, at least 5 years ties to the community, which was verified according to pretrial services. Probus does have a couple their criminal history. So for all those reasons, we're asking to release the pretrial services, and if not, impose a nominal bond.
Thank you. So I am concerned about the domestic violence history. I'm going to impose a bond of $1,000 cash or secured. If you're able to post that bond, you'll be released to pretrial services. You'll be ordered to commit no acts of domestic violence, submit to any monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services. You may not consume or possess any alcohol or illegal drugs, no contact with the alleged victims, and do not return to the incident location. Is that where you were living?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. So I will order that you may return there one time with a police escort to pick up your belongings. So you'll take my order to the nearest police station, and they will escort you to the residence to pick up your belongings. Your next court date is going to be April 7th at 1:30. That is for a preliminary hearing. And if you fail to appear for your future court dates, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You're excused.
Thank you.
If you do bond out, that's all that. I don't have, so you're probably going to be here, a little bit until you're in his options. Center, you file this production bonds. Okay, so you're going to be talking to a similar project. Like basically, so they've not been really communications, so don't call them. You'll say get in trouble, get a good charge. You have to see a problem, they're going to be sued. So it's this Friday, so there's no. You can try and call in this afternoon to see it. It's probably not. So I think, yeah, I guess Oscar, they know who your attorney is, but one of my I'm not sure. Yeah, call it. Yeah, my application of property. I would imagine. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It looks like it's the same. Okay, great. Good morning. Please state your name.
Tara Thompson.
Good morning. This is the time for your initial appearance on charges of possession of a dangerous drug and possession of drug paraphernalia. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney, and it is ordered appointing the public defender to represent you. You have counsel seated next to you for the purposes of today's hearing. And it looks like we also have a warrant from Cochise County as well to deal with. So we'll start with the felony charges for possession of drugs and possession of drug paraphernalia here in Pima County. We're going to talk about your conditions of release, and I have reviewed information provided by pretrial services, including that you may be eligible for STEPS diversion screening. I have also reviewed the interim complaint. And I've reviewed the state's recommendation, which is that you be held on a bond of $1,000 and released to pretrial services if you post the bond. Since it is likely that you will be held on the out-of-county warrant, one of the things I'll want to hear from is if you would like a bond on this case, since you may remain in custody. But first, would the state like to be heard further on its recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Thompson does not qualify for STEPS, so we would just, based on a review of the history, so we would just be asking for some sort of bond to ensure the appearance. And it looks like, as you noted, there's the 2 out-of-county warrants, which are probation violations, so she's going to be detained without bond anyways on those 2 out-of-county probation warrants.
Thank you. And would the defense like to be heard?
Yeah, yes, may I have a moment?
You may.
A credit for the recommendation is the release. A credit since thank you for this thing. That's just me. I was going to find out things.
I'm not gonna get released either way, but maybe I got posted on.
Your Honor, we're asking that you impose very low bond, perhaps like $25. She gets credit on this case. She's got ties to the community. She has transportation to court. Both of that's been verified by her mom. All of her priors are substance abuse related. She hasn't had any prior failure to appears in the last 2 years into pretrial. She scored a 3 on the NCA and FTA scale. For all those reasons, that's what we're asking for.
Thank you. All right, so I'm going to order a bond of $250 cash or secured on this matter. If you are able to post that bond and your other matters are cleared up, you would be released to pretrial services and ordered to submit to any monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services. You may not possess or consume any alcohol, may not possess any firearms or weapons, and your next court date will be April 7th at 1:30. That's at Pima County Justice Court for a preliminary hearing. If you were to be released and fail to appear for that court date, a warrant could issue for your arrest. And then on your Cochise County case,
I don't think you see her on those since they're probation violation, Judge, unless I'm mistaken.
I have it in here. I have a conditions of release, but
The jail is telling me that these aren't on for probation violations.
Your Honor, if I may, at the jail, one of the warrants is a post adjudication, CAS 2612. The other one is an indictment warrant for drug paraphernalia felony 6.
yeah, that looks right. Okay. All right, thank you. So I am going on the one that is before me. I am also going to order a $250 cash or secured bond. And then I'm going to set a review hearing to see if you are still here dealing with your local charges or if you have been released to Cochise County. That review hearing will be on April 28th, but if you've been released to Cochise County, you don't have to be here for that hearing. If you happen to still be in custody in our jail, then they would make you available for it. Do you understand?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you. You're excused.
I guess we could have it.
Sorry.
That one could be pre-trial service.
Yes.
I'm not here on a violation.
Sounds like it. The files. Oh, I have all the information here. Call them. We sign one to right. Track second. My boss came by.
And I believe Kaufman was continued to tonight for refusing. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I have. If no one has anything further, thank you all for your time.
Nope, that'll be it. Have a good day.
You too.
Judge Monroe, it's good seeing you.
Good to see you too, Sam.
It's been a while.
It has.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I'm sure I'll be seeing you around.
I think so. All right, take care.
Okay. You too. Bye bye.
Were we still on?